YouTube. You already know. Big Lou tapping back in with what to do with Big Lou and MZR2. Baby, baby. First time you come to the channel, it'd be highly appreciated if you subscribe, like, and share the channel with your family, friends, folks, peoples, gente, buddies, pals, amigos, and like us, Puertorriqueños, Boricuas, Ibaritos, Portorros say, pana, paya. And by the way, did I mention the Latin assassin himself is here again? One more again. So run you down real quick. First time you come to the channel, hit that subscribe button, followed by the bell notification, and then select all. And you'll be notified each and every time that I drop anything from this channel. If it's a pre-recorded video like this here, a live stream, or a shorts, which is, if you guys don't know, shorts are anything from 1-2 seconds up to 58, 59 seconds long. I usually put my dogs on there most of the time. Sometimes I'll put food, sometimes I put cars, but usually it's the dogs. Anyways, as you can tell from that thumbnail, some of you guys might be able to tell, some of you guys might not be able to tell who that is. That is Leonel Moreno. Lionel Moreno. He's a migrant from Venezuela. He's Venezolano. Venezuelan in Spanish. Venezolano. He's de Sudamerica. He's from South America. Very controversial figure in a real short matter of time. I've never seen him personally, but he's been in the news a lot lately because of his antics, right? So he's a migrant, came from Venezuela. A lot of Venezuelans are coming here. I think they said it's upwards of like 7 million since. I've heard a couple different numbers, but the one number that I hear majority of the time is close to about 7 million since 2015. Before you can find, I never met a Venezuelan personally. Never. I've never met a Venezolano personally. I do follow QBN Kennels or QBNK, which is Raul Fagundes, and he's half Venezuelan and half Cubano. But I know him from YouTube. But as far as in person, I've never met a full-blooded Venezuelan, or I haven't even met a half Venezuelan before in person. You know what I'm saying? I'm from California. Just it's not all these years. Most of the time you see Venezuelans, they'd be in Florida, right, or in the East Coast, but really Florida, right? But now even like the Central Americans too, the Salvadorians, the Guatemalans, the Hondurans. So those are the Salvadoreños, the Guatemaltecos, and the Hondureños, which their nicknames are Catracho for Hondurans, Chapins for Guatemalans, and for Salvadoreños, it's Guanacos or Bicho. But to us Puerto Ricans, Bicho means something totally different, right? So, anyways, first time I met, well, no, it wasn't the first time, but one time in the joint, and this cat that called me, he says, "Hey, Bori, vete pa acá." He calls me, right? Come here. So I go over there, and he tells me, "Oye, este se llama Bicho." He tells me, "Hey, this guy's named Bicho." And I'm like, "Bicho? The fuck?" Okay, and like I said, to us, Bicho means you're private, right? A male's private part. You also hear them say pinga, right? Mama la pinga. You'll hear that too, but mostly Bicho. Anyways, so the Puerto Rican dude, and you can find this Puerto Rican dude on that HBO documentary when they were following around King Tone. The Puerto Rican dude they call me is the one that is in custody. He has a teardrop. He's King Teardrop. His name is his real name is wow, what was his real name? His last name was Gabriel. His first name was Jose Gabriel. That was his name. That's his real name. He was in prison in California. They sent him over here, and I remember I used to question him like, "Well, but he's not my people's. Even though he's my people's blood-wise, he's not my people's." You know what I'm saying? I don't run. I'm not Puerto Rican. I mean, I'm Puerto Rican always, but I'm not. That's not the way it works here in California, right? If you're down as Puerto Rican, they don't even put you down as Puerto Rican. You're down as another, which means you're everything in that realm of others is everything, everything except for black, white, and Mexican, right? Pretty much. So yeah, so you know what I mean. But he ran some bogus shit by me. Partly was true, partly wasn't, I believe. But I really don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because then I ended up seeing him on HBO, and it looked like he was probably giving up some information. That's what it looked like to me. You know, he's talking to the media. You know, even though it was HBO, HBO is that was a documentary. That was you're talking to media people. You're talking about to investigators. You know what I'm saying? Journalists, investigative journalists. You know, and he was talking about we teach the Pee Wee Kings and the Pee Wee Queens. You know, so yeah. Anyways, so he tells me how ¿Cómo te llamas? He said, what they call you? And the dude said, me llaman bicho. They call me bicho, and I'm like, what the fuck? But I didn't know at the time that bicho to a Salvadoreño means a youngster. It means like a youngster. So we say jovencito, or we'll say menor. You know what I'm saying? Like a minor. Not really meaning minor, but meaning minor in the sense of you're a young person. You're a young man. You know what I'm saying? Don't get it twisted, people. Minor, menor. Menor means a young man. I mean, it could mean a minor too, like what it says, a youngster. But in the sense that we're using it when they say a youngster, they're talking about a young man, young looking man, 18, 19, 20-year old, 22, even up to 25 if you look real young. I'm pretty sure probably even older than that if they still look really young. You know what I'm saying? There's some guys that don't develop a mustache and none of that shit till they're in their 30s, mid 30s, late 30s. It's a trip. That's because their bloodline. Their bloodline with their whatever nationality. A lot of times it could be because of native blood, Asian blood, and stuff like that. Not all the time, but a good sense of the time. So, anyways, I just brought that up because Central Americans had been pretty much solely located in California. Southern California to be exact, majority. Then in San Francisco, you have a lot of Nicaraguans, and then now you also have, the three countries that I just mentioned too. But now, since the construction boom and different things of jobs that people don't want to take, you got them going to North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, and that's been for some years now before this so-called crisis, border crisis, right? Immigration crisis, whatever you want to call it. Um, I'm not going to get all into that right now. That's not for this video, but we'll discuss more about that. But this guy has been coming on mocking people, basically saying that he didn't come here to work and that he's going to be taking, he's pretty much mocking taxpayers and saying that that you guys us I'm a taxpayer that we pay, we're like slaves, and that he's going to live off us, stuff like that, right? um Bragging about he was getting $300 of free handouts or something like that, and food stamps, and I did see another video of him. I heard and I read too, but originally I didn't. This is stuff I read today, but I heard other people speak of this guy, and I did see him making a video where he's just acting like he's crying, and he's got snot boogers all on here, and it's just hanging there, and he's got his baby right there. Very, very, very fucking disgusting, man. I mean, very fucking. I'm very, very disappointed in that dude. You know what I'm saying? To be honest, to be given the opportunity to come over here, the so-called land of milk and honey, right? You know what I'm saying? And then on top of all that, He's not. Excuse me. He's not mocking, but he's telling other people not to come here, not to work. And he's. I mean, excuse me. He's making fun of those that want to come here to work and have a better future for themselves and family. I mean, this dude's just a bad apple. I mean, straight up, and that's going to happen. That's going to happen. They showed him in other clips where he's going into stores and he's talking about how easy it is to take stuff and stuff like that. I seen a clip of that, but I guess TikTok ended up kicking him off. But then he's on Instagram bragging about that he's still making money off Instagram and Facebook. I didn't even know that you can make money off Instagram and Facebook. I did notice on Instagram there's a button that you can hit for subscribe to channel. So I guess is that how he's doing it? But he has a ton of followers. On TikTok, they said he had somewhere upward of 300,000 or 500,000. I'll tell you right now, from what I read here. I'm not even. Don't get me wrong. I don't know all this stuff's true. It was written here, You know what I'm saying? Because it starts off, it says two things. First, it says, okay, I'll just see what's migrant influencer Leonel Moreno waves around cash as he mocks U.S. taxpayers who work like slaves after he urged illegals, fellow migrants, to become squatters in U.S. homes. That's fucking outrageous right there. The mugshot of a migrant influencer on the lam in the U.S. after fleeing immigration officials has surfaced for the first time as the freeloading Venezuelan took to social media again to mock American taxpayers for working like slaves. Leonel Moreno, who has made a name for himself on TikTok by encouraging others to invade the U.S. and squat at homes of citizens, skipped out on ICE authorities soon after crossing the southern border into Texas illegally in 2022. The Venezuelan national was originally enrolled in the Alternatives to Detention program and was cut loose on parole due to lack of space in detention facilities. Okay, it goes on to say he was quickly listed as an absconder from the program when he failed to show up for a later court date. Internal immigration and customs enforcement records show. In his original mugshot, the so-called migrant influencer. So now they're calling him a so-called migrant influencer. When I originally read, they called him a migrant influencer. So which one is it? Can be seen staring blankly ahead, a far cry from the gleeful social media videos he's been posting since being on the run. It comes as a defiant Moreno posted a flurry of videos to Instagram on Wednesday of himself flashing wads of cash, the same day he was booted from TikTok over similar content. I didn't cross the Rio Grande to work like a slave, Moreno said in one of the 5 Instagram clips. I came to the U.S. to mark my territory. Well, let me answer that, motherfucker. You came here to mark your territory. You mark your territory by becoming a fucking honest working person and providing for your family and following the laws of the land, motherfucker. That's how you mark your territory. And I hope that's what you mean, but by the fucking means of what you've been posting, that don't look like what you mean. Big fucking disappointment to me, tell you that. And other fucking Latino people that believe in people coming here for the right reasons. As he waved a stack of hundreds in front of the camera, the fugitive migrant claimed to have enough money to support himself, his wife, and baby for at least 18 months without having to work. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Okay, he says, you're hurt because I make more than you without much work while you work like slaves. Understand? Moreno said, that's the difference between you and me. I'm always going to make lots of money without much work, and you're always going to be exploited and miserable and insignificant. Okay, now look, that that statement he just said there, I don't believe there's nothing wrong with that. But again, if he's doing it in the right way, or even if he's making money off Instagram and Facebook, people are obviously watching him or subscribing to his channel or whatever it takes for him to make the money. If that's how he's making the money. Now, if he's trying to talk shit and make fun and mock about money that the federal government and us taxpayers are actually through the federal government is being funded for him to get funds, then fuck him and his fucking you know what. You know what I'm saying? He I don't dig that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm always going to make more money. Okay, I already read that. He later shrugged off his TikTok ban, insisting, yes, they closed my TikTok account, but I keep earning on Facebook and Instagram. So if he's making legit money on Facebook and Instagram, it don't matter where you live. Those platforms are everywhere. I won't earn the same, but I am going to get my TikTok account back. I am going to keep earning money. Prior to being shut down, Moreno had boasted roughly 500,000 TikTok followers. His Instagram, which was still active as of Thursday, has 17,500 followers. Okay, so this is a little jab right here at the federal government and especially immigration and immigration customs enforcement and border, maybe not border patrol, but definitely ICE, Homeland Security, all that. In the internal ICE records, immigration officials noted that Moreno has been on national news for being viral on TikTok encouraging illegal immigration. The firebrand influencer who frequently boasts of his earnings from begging for cash and obtaining food stamps has also taken to informing other migrants how they can seize homes using squatter rights. While local immigration authorities say they are unaware of Moreno's current location, he appears to be hiding in plain sight, having posted video in front of a local police car in Gahanna, Ohio. Okay, John Fabric Fabricatori, a former ICE field office director for the agency, told the New York Post this week that migrants who abscond from the Alternatives to Detention program are likely not to be tracked down by the feds and will probably only come into ICE radar again if they're arrested by local cops. The ICE Alternatives to Detention program, despite its multi-billion-dollar budget, is failing to meet necessary standards and has alarming high absconder rates. ICE fails to track down absconders and instead just removes them from the program, Fabricatori said. Okay, the only reason I'm mentioning that, and I said is a little dig at Homeland Security and ICE, is because he had said there that they won't arrest them, that they won't arrest these guys, any absconders until they're rearrested by local cops. Okay, so I want to. So guess what? I didn't even know this, but I was scrolling down. He's picked up. He's busted. So a man who came to the U.S. illegally from Venezuela is now in custody after going viral for bragging about getting free money from America and encouraging other newcomers to take advantage of U.S. laws protecting squatters. In one TikTok video, Leonel Moreno, now being called the migrant influencer, explained squatting laws and suggested how to take advantage of them. His account has now been removed from the platform. So he was arrested. See if they got him in Ohio or where they got him at. Moreno had an order to appear in Florida court in February of 2025, but authorities had trouble tracking him down. That got to be a mistake. 2025. The address he initially provided was for a Catholic charities in Miami, but sources said he now has a possible address listed in Ohio. Also in Ohio, Fermin Garcia-Gutierrez is another man allegedly taking advantage of the system and gaps in the intelligence. Law enforcement in Butler County, Ohio, said Garcia-Gutierrez has been in Sheriff Richard Jones's jail 11 times using 7 different names and 3 different dates of birth. I don't understand how that is. I mean, because your fingerprints can't lie. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're altering them somehow, burning them or something. I don't understand why that many times they're not turning them over to ICE. Garcia's latest arrest was for possession of drugs and weapons while intoxicated and obstructing. Okay, that right there. Just the fact that he had drugs and obstructed, that would be enough for him not to be OR'd over here where I'm at. Because this happened to me one time where they tried to say I obstructed, but I didn't. And I forgot what the other charge was, but the DA jumped up right away and said, "No, Your Honor, because the fact that he obstructed. Uh, we're we're uh, we're we're putting it. We're saying no on the because my attorney asked for the OR released on own recognizance, and they said no because of that fact. And the judge still let me out though. So that was what I forgot too, that he was in the video with with the snot hanging out, and he was whining to the camera, about he can't take care of his family because he got, I don't know if it's because he was kicked off on TikTok or whatever, but now he's back on and he's mocking. So it's just one of them things where he's just a bad apple. He's a piece of shit, in my opinion. I feel sorry for the boy there, the baby. I don't know if it's a boy or not. The baby, because that jive ass motherfucker ain't a good example at all. Uh, to it just you're given the opportunity to come over here, man. You're here now. You know what I'm saying? You were given the opportunity. Well, he took it upon himself to come. They're coming from Venezuela. The word was out there, whatever. Come on, the doors are open, whatever it was. I don't know. But here they come, And majority of these people want to come here and work. They don't want to come here and cause trouble. You know what I'm saying? They want to come here and work. And the funny part about it is that they usually get they're getting jobs that people don't want, but then people are complaining that they're coming and taking their jobs. But most of it's cleaning toilets, janitorial, fucking definitely out in the fields, working all agriculture, a lot of the farm work, a lot of the land, the farming land, ranch work, shit like that. A lot of shit like that. All the real the hands-on dirty shit, cooking, all the pots, working in the kitchen, all that shit that people don't want to do, but they sure like to complain. Now I get it. It seems like it's something, and it is something to a certain degree, but I'm not gonna get into it in this video. This video is not for that. This video is just straight to talk shit about this guy and any other ones like this. They need to check themselves for the record self. You know what I'm saying? And if I seen any motherfuckers in person that were doing that shit like this little chump's doing in the video, right? I would personally check the fuck out of them, right? I would check the fuck out of them straight up. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I think that's chicken shit doing that. Speaking like that, like, oh, I even seen another video, and I don't know if it's the same guy, the name I seen earlier, but this motherfucker's bitching about, like, he's not getting enough money. He's not getting enough help or some shit like that. Yo, you fucking out your motherfucking mind, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's fucking crazy as fuck. I don't understand. Not getting enough. You know what I mean? But you can be back in that wherever you're from, that third world country, being treated definitely like shit when your country had a lot of money. If they're Venezuelan, had a lot of money in oil, but the people were starving. I mean, come on. You come to a United States, you won't be starving because there's people with good hearts out there that will help you out, feeding you. You know what I'm saying? And it's not all Democrats. They're not all Republicans. Everybody will help everybody at times. You know what I'm saying? But you got to be sincere about it. You got to show that you're sincere. You can't be, 1 minute talking about, oh, help me, ayúdame, por favor, mi familia, ayúdame. That means, if you guys don't know, my family, help me. Fucking, that bullshit. And then the next video, you're over here, pendejos, ustedes son pendejos, pásame el dinero, man. Give me the money, you dummies, and da-da-da. Come on, man. That's disgusting. Very despicable individual. And people that would do shit like that makes me wonder about what other type of shit they've done. You know what I'm saying? And I can go on and on with some other people right now about that type of shit, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna use that for some other videos. But with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and tap out on this one. I'm from California, man. You know what I'm saying? Immigrants is a way of life here for many years, all my life. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I seen, immigrants, so it don't bother me. You know what I'm saying? Especially, it don't bother me. But now a lot of the immigrants are getting to places where they normally wouldn't be like that. Long Island, Queens, you know what I'm saying? Different parts of different places. They're not used to seeing that. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, oh my God, especially when the right side is pushing a bunch of bullshit. They got everybody thinking that the crime is way up and like Donald Trump, he gets out there and says, oh man, our country's dying. There's a killing on every corner. Man, come on, man. That's fucking ridiculous. Killing on every corner. And all the numbers show that crime's down by all crimes, property crimes and violent crimes. The crime that's up right now is crimes against Jewish people. That's what's up. That's very concerning, right? Because we seen what they on the right, a lot of people on the right say, Jews will not replace us. But wait a minute, which one is it? Is the Jews are going to replace you or the brown menaces are going to replace you? Fucking bunch of bullshit. It's sick thinking. That's what it is. Because, oh man, I'm not going to talk about it right here because that's for another video. But it definitely makes me question people's fucking faith, really. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be honest. I don't see how you say you're Christian and you love God and, we're supposed to be made in the image of God, Jesus. How the heck are you demonizing immigrants? You know what I'm saying? How are you? Oh man, that's for another video. But I'm definitely gonna question. I don't give a shit if people I know good, family members. I'm gonna question it. I don't give a shit, right? Because you can say, well, if that was the case, what people would do is, their personal lives, we wouldn't. Nah, fuck that. That's a weak ass excuse because the motherfuckers have showed you over and over and over and over and over again on 50 different levels and 50 different categories on what they're willing to do. That is against the law. That is against humanity. That's against women's rights. That's against, you know what I'm saying, physically assaulting women. You know what I'm saying? All that shit. No, hell no, man. Hell no. It's downright disgusting. And it does piss me off because it's just using the Bible and all that as a freaking tool and shit, acting like they're righteous and shit. You know what I'm saying? And deep down in the heart, they're fucking evil motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about. Let me be clear when I say that. I'm not meaning when I say evil. Deep down, they're evil motherfuckers. I'm not talking about everybody that's Christian and everybody just because they follow us, the right. I'm not saying that either. But at some point, you need to snap the fuck out of it and see what the fuck's going on. You know what I'm saying? You can't just, in my opinion, you can't be saying, "Oh, I'm a Republican and I'm going for him because he's against gay rights and he's against abortion." You know what I'm saying? How do those two things trump everything else? Huh? How do those two things trump everything else that man's done and those folks have said and backed? You know what I'm saying? God does not like ugliness. That's what I always was taught when I was a kid, growing up to even now. He don't. People say, "Oh, I believe in karma and all that." Yeah, karma, whatever. But God, I don't. God, and I've heard this because He gives you the choice to follow Him and leave and to live and follow Him and to form and reform yourself as a born again Christian in His eye and His likeness. So if man, so if it's a touchy subject. Politics, religion is always touchy, right? But it's just, man, it's to the point where you can't even talk to people without them getting into other shit, all angry. The hate, you could just see the hate come out of them. I don't understand. Like, you don't see people on the left talking like that. Like, it's not as often as it is on the right. You know what I'm saying? It's gaslighting to the fullest. It's fear mongering to the fullest. It's lying to the fullest. It's fabricating and lying to the fullest. There's no such thing as alternative facts. It's either facts or it's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So it's just too much. It's constantly. So I'm gonna go ahead and tap out on this one. I think I might have one more tonight, and it's gonna be a Donald Duck video. I gotta go at this dude. You know what I'm saying? All right, peoples. Big Lou tapping out.